I was sitting in my apartment holding the wedding invitations we had just picked up from the printer. 6 years with Lauren. 6 years of building something I thought would last forever. My brother Marcus was going to be my best man. I thought I knew what family meant. I thought I knew what love meant. But 2 months before the happiest day of my life, my own brother walked into my apartment and destroyed everything I believed in. Before we begin, let me know where you are watching from in the comments below. If you have ever been betrayed by the people you trusted most, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Stay with me until the end because this story might change how you see loyalty and family forever. Now, let me take you back to where it all started. I met Lauren 6 years ago in the emergency room. I had gotten into a minor car accident, nothing serious, just a fender bender that left me with a sprained wrist and a bruised ego. She was the nurse who took care of me that night. I remember looking up from the hospital bed and seeing her smile for the first time. It was the kind of smile that made you forget you were in pain. She had this warmth about her, this genuine kindness that felt rare in a world full of people just going through the motions. We exchanged numbers before I left the hospital. She said it was to check on my recovery. I knew it was more than that. Our first date was at a small Italian restaurant downtown. We talked for 4 hours straight. By the end of that night, I knew she was different. 6 years together taught me everything about her. Or at least I thought it did. We went on road trips every summer, driving up the coast with no real destination in mind. We had this tradition of cooking dinner together every Sunday night, even when we were exhausted from work. We argued sometimes, like any couple does, but we always found our way back to each other. She used to look at me and say, "You are my safe place, Desmond." I believed her. I believed every single word. On our 5-year anniversary, I took her back to that Italian restaurant where we had our first date. I got down on one knee right there between the appetizers and the main course. She cried. She said yes. I slipped the ring on her finger and thought my life was finally complete. For the next year, I worked harder than ever. I had been saving for 3 years, already putting away every extra dollar for the wedding I wanted to give her. I put down deposits on the venue, a beautiful place in Vermont where we had spent our happiest vacation together. I hired a wedding planner. I picked out flowers, music, everything. I wanted it to be perfect for her. Looking back now, I should have noticed the signs. Lauren had become distant in those final months. She was quieter than usual. Always seemed lost in thought. When I asked if something was wrong, she blamed it on wedding stress. I accepted that explanation because I wanted to believe it. I wanted to believe that nothing could touch what we had built together. My brother Marcus was 4 years younger than me. Growing up, he was always the golden child, the one our parents doted on because he was the baby of the family. I never resented him for it. That was just how things were. I loved my brother. I helped him through everything. When he racked up credit card debt in his early 20s, I paid it off. When he needed help getting a job, I called in favors from people I knew. That was what big brothers did. In the months leading up to the wedding, Marcus started coming around more often. He said he wanted to help with the preparations. I was touched by that. I thought my irresponsible little brother was finally growing up. I thought he was stepping up to be there for me on the most important day of my life. I noticed he and Lauren were texting a lot. She said it was about the wedding, coordinating surprises for me. I thought it was sweet that they were getting along so well. I never questioned it. Why would I question my own brother? But then the small things started adding up. Lauren began getting sick in the mornings. She would rush to the bathroom and come back pale, insisting it was just stress. I begged her to see a doctor. She refused every time. She started taking her phone everywhere, even to the bathroom. If I walked into a room while she was texting, she would quickly lock the screen. Once I caught a glimpse of the name on her phone. Just the letter M. When I asked about it, she laughed it off. Just work stuff, she said. I let it go. Marcus changed too. He stopped looking me in the eye when we talked. He became nervous around me, always fidgeting, always seeming like he wanted to say something but could not find the words. One night, out of nowhere, he asked me, "Bro, you ever think about what you would do if Lauren left?" I laughed at him. I told him he worried too much. I wish I had paid attention to what he was really asking. The night that should have been my first real warning happened about 3 months before the wedding. I woke up at 2 in the morning and reached for Lauren. Her side of the bed was empty. I found her on the balcony whispering into her phone. I stood in the doorway and listened. I know she was saying, "I will tell him soon. Just give me more time." She turned around and saw me standing there. Her face went white. She ended the call immediately and said it was her mother. They were discussing last-minute wedding details. Her mother had trouble sleeping and liked to call late. I nodded and went back to bed. But something felt wrong. Something I could not name sat heavy in my chest that night. I pushed it down. I told myself I was being paranoid. I wish I had trusted that feeling. 2 months before the wedding, on a Sunday afternoon, I was sitting at the kitchen table reviewing the guest list one more time. We had invited 200 people. Friends, family, co-workers. Everyone who mattered to us was going to be there to watch us start our life together. The doorbell rang. It was Marcus. He looked terrible. His face was pale, his eyes were red like he had not slept in days. He walked past me without saying hello and sat down on the couch. For a long time he just stared at the floor. "Bro," he finally said, "I need to tell you something." I sat down across from him. My heart was beating faster than it should have been. Some part of me already knew that whatever he was about to say would change everything. "Lauren is pregnant," he said. I felt the world tilt. Pregnant. We had talked about having kids, but we wanted to wait until after the wedding. My mind raced through the implications. We were going to be parents. This was unexpected, but it could still be wonderful. Then Marcus continued, "It is mine." The words did not make sense at first. I asked him to repeat himself. He did. "We have been together for 8 months. I love her, Desmond. I want to marry her." 8 months. That meant they had started sleeping together while she was wearing my ring, while I was working overtime to save money for our future. While I was planning the happiest day of my life, my brother was in bed with my fiancée. I stood up. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely control them. 8 months, I heard myself say. While she was wearing my ring, Marcus started talking fast, trying to explain. "It just happened. We did not plan this. But now there is a baby and I have to do the right thing." The right thing. He was talking about the right thing. I punched the wall. My fist went straight through the drywall. Blood started running down my knuckles, but I did not feel any pain. All I felt was this roaring emptiness where my future used to be. "Get out," I told him. "Get out before I do something I will regret." He left. I stood there alone in my apartment with a hole in the wall and blood dripping onto the carpet. I do not know how long I stayed like that. Time did not mean anything anymore. Lauren came home an hour later. She found me sitting in the dark, my hand wrapped in a kitchen towel. She turned on the light and saw my face. She knew immediately. "Is it true?" I asked. Just those 3 words. She started crying. She dropped to her knees in front of me and grabbed my hands. "I am so sorry. I never meant for this to happen." I pulled away from her. I needed to understand. I needed to know how the woman I had loved for 6 years, the woman I was supposed to marry, could do this to me. She told me everything. It started 8 months ago, after one of our arguments. I do not even remember what we fought about. Something small, probably. Marcus had been there. He comforted her. One thing led to another. She said she tried to end it multiple times, but she could not stay away from him. "I did not know whose baby it was at first," she said. "I took a paternity test in secret. When I found out it was his, I knew I had to tell you eventually. I just could not find the right time. I listened to all of it. Every word felt like a knife in my chest. "Did you ever love me?" I asked. She looked at me with tears streaming down her face. "I did. I still do. But Marcus, it is different. Different." 6 years together and I was different. I held out my hand. "Give me the ring." She hesitated, then slowly pulled the engagement ring off her finger and placed it in my palm. The diamond caught the light. I remembered how nervous I had been when I bought it. I remembered how happy she looked when I put it on her finger. "You have 1 hour to pack your things," I said. She tried to argue. She said we could work through this, that she would end things with Marcus, that we could still have a future. I shook my head. There is nothing left to solve. She packed her bags and left. I watched her walk out the door, and I felt something inside me die. That night I sat alone in the apartment drinking whiskey straight from the bottle. Everything I had built was gone. My future, my family, my faith in the people I loved most. All of it destroyed in a single conversation. Then I noticed Lauren's iPad on the coffee table. She had forgotten it in her rush to leave. The screen lit up with a notification. A message from M. I told myself not to look. I told myself it would only make things worse. But I could not help it. I needed to understand how deep the betrayal went. Her iMessage was still logged in. I opened the conversation between her and Marcus. It went back 8 months, just like he said. What I read in those messages broke me all over again. They called me clueless. They laughed about how hard I worked to save money for the wedding. Marcus had written, "He works so hard to give you everything. Too bad he does not know you come to me every night." Lauren replied, "I feel bad sometimes, but you make me feel alive. He is just boring. Boring." After everything I had given her, I was boring. But the worst part was discovering their plan. They were going to let me go through with the wedding. After we were married, Lauren would divorce me and take half of everything I had saved. Then she and Marcus would use my money to start their life together. "His savings will give us a good start," Lauren had written. I sat there reading message after message until my eyes burned. They had planned to use me to take everything I had worked for and then throw me away like garbage. The pain was unbearable. But somewhere deep inside that pain, something else began to grow. Anger.